Artificial Frontier Podcast.
All right, so get ready, because this time we're diving into a story that's got it all. Music legend and, true crime mystery.
Yeah, it's the unsolved murder of Peter Tosh.
Exactly.
And, we often think about music as this escape, this kind of universal language.
Right.
But for Tosh, it was a weapon.
Yeah.
It was a way to fight for change.
And that unfortunately led to a tragic end.
It did.
Yeah.
So today we're not just replaying the hits or anything. We're really trying to unpack the life and the death of a revolutionary figure.
Yeah, and trust me, there are some twists and turns along the way that'll make you question everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's captivating about Tosh is that his story isn't confined to just the world of music.
Right.
It's completely intertwined with the fight for social justice, the turbulent political landscape of Jamaica, and, of course, the conspiracy theories.
We're talking about a founding member of the Wailers. Like, come on.
Yeah.
The band that launched Bob Marley onto the world stage. A man known as the Stepping Razor for his, fierce lyrics and his uncompromising stance.
Yeah, one of a kind.
But before we get to the conspiracies, we need to establish some undisputed facts.
Okay.
What do we actually know for sure about September 1987?
So the generally accepted narrative is that on September 11th, Tosh was at his home in Kingston, Jamaica, and was expecting a relaxing evening with friends.
Right. Sounds pretty normal.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Among them were drummer Carlton Santa Davis, radio DJ Jeffrey I. Dixon, and Tosh's partner Marlene Brown.
Okay.
But instead, a total nightmare unfolded.
It all started with a knock on the door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What we've been able to piece together from eyewitness accounts and police reports is that 3 armed men forced their way into Tosh's home.
Unbelievable.
And here's where it gets really unsettling. The ringleader was Dennis Lepo Loban, someone that Tosh had actually befriended and helped in the past.
Yeah, you gotta be kidding me.
I know, that's right.
It's crazy. Tosh was known for his generosity, especially towards people from his old neighborhood, Trenchtown.
Right.
Loban was one of those people.
So the question that immediately arises is, why would someone Tosh had helped turn against him so violently?
Yeah, why would you?
It's a puzzle.
It is.
It only gets more complicated from there.
Oh, no.
According to sources, the intruders demanded money. And despite Tosh handing over the $200 he had on him, they began pistol whipping him and opened fire.
The aftermath was devastating. Wilton Doc Brown, a close friend of Tosh's, was killed instantly. Tosh and Dixon were critically wounded and later succumbed to their injuries. Thankfully, Marlene Brown and 3 others survived.
This is where the official narrative starts to unravel for a lot of people.
Really?
Loban was quickly apprehended and charged with murder. But his trial was shockingly brief. Only 11 minutes long.
11 minutes.
11 minutes.
Wow.
He was found guilty and sentenced to death, which was later commuted to life in prison.
Wow, that's crazy.
What's striking about that 11-minute trial isn't just the speed, but the context. Was there pressure to quickly wrap up the case? Were there influential figures who wanted to avoid a deeper dive into Tosh's life and the potential motives for his murder?
And to add another layer of mystery, Loban's accomplices were never found. To this day, Loban maintains his innocence, claiming he was framed. But if Logan wasn't the mastermind, who was pulling the strings?
Was it truly a robbery gone wrong, as the official story goes? Or, given Tosh's outspoken nature and revolutionary spirit, could there be more to it?
This is where we really have to go beyond the surface, beyond that, like you said, official narrative.
Yeah.
We have to remember that Peter Tosh wasn't just a talented musician.
Right.
He was like a revolutionary voice.
Right. His music wasn't just about entertainment or anything. It was about challenging the establishment.
Yeah.
Speaking truth to power.
Exactly. And it wasn't just what he sang about, but how he sang about it.
Right.
Take his song, Get Up, Stand Up,
Come on.
which he wrote with Bob Marley. There's this very powerful lyric in it. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Yeah.
He was directly challenging those in power. You know what I mean?
Right.
Telling people to wake up
Yeah.
and to see the injustice around them.
It's like he knew he couldn't be silenced, even if they tried.
Yeah,
But what's interesting here is this whole idea of Babylon.
right.
For those who might be familiar with Rastafarian beliefs,
Yeah,
could you explain what that represents?
of course.
Yeah.
So in Rastafarianism, Babylon is this symbolic representation of oppression and systems of power that just perpetuate injustice.
Oh, wow.
It encompasses things like colonialism, systemic racism, even corrupt governments.
Okay, so when Tosh sings about fighting against Babylon, He's essentially calling for like the dismantling of these systems,
Exactly.
which definitely ruffled some feathers,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
especially within the Jamaican government at the time.
Yeah, they were not happy.
This leads us to that first layer of the conspiracy, right? Okay. The idea that Tosh was silenced for being a threat to
Exactly.
the established order.
Some people believe that his rising international fame only made him more dangerous in the eyes of those in power.
Right.
His message was reaching a wider audience than ever,
Wow.
potentially inspiring dissent and unrest.
And it's not a far-fetched idea, right?
No, not at all.
History is full of examples of activists and artists being targeted
Absolutely.
for speaking truth to power.
Look at the Black Power movement in the U.S., anti-apartheid activists in South Africa, musicians protesting the Vietnam War,
Right.
challenging the status quo, especially when it comes to issues of race power and social justice, often comes with risks.
Yeah, it's not a game.
It's not.
So this theory,
Right.
silencing the stepping razor,
Yes.
it hinges on the idea that Tosh was seen as a threat to powerful forces
It does.
who wanted to maintain the status quo.
They did not want to give up their power.
But then there's this other layer, right?
For me,
The music industry itself.
that's right.
Like, come on.
Tosh was notoriously outspoken when it came to the music industry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was fiercely independent, and he demanded creative control and fair treatment from record labels,
Yeah.
which, let's be honest, is still a struggle for many artists today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That power dynamic between